and let you know what's going on. Just finished watching The Angry Tabletop Nerd painting orcs. I do love me some orcs, fantasy orcs for Warhammer. They are fun, fun, fun. However, I'm over here painting up some Harkonnen house troopers. And of course, I couldn't help but wonder who would win in a fight? An army of Harkonnen house troopers. Let's see if this will focus in. Come on now. I'm not shaking that bad. Get focused. Anyway, damn it. It's like, who would win, right? I mean, here's what I'll do. Because this works when I do it. Even though it also shows you more of how messy my desk is. See that? Yeah. So, that's right. Look at the messy desk. But let's put that guy in there. Okay, why did he... What went wrong? He was great. Oh, I see. Probably because I need to put something behind him that will force the camera to focus on him. So let's see if I can do something like this. Come on now. Oh, now. Yeah. And there you go, a beat up old Harkonnen warrior, ready to go out there and give it his all for his Duke. And yes, I keep saying Harkonnen, not Harkonnen, because I'm pretty sure it's probably pronounced Harkonnen. I don't know who started with the Harkonnen thing, but maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. But yeah. So here's another guy. Look at him. They just look pissed off and angry. You know what I mean? If I really wanted to like get back to the super pale look of the newer movies, I could, I guess. Okay, don't want to stand up. That's why I weight my bases. I suppose I could just hit the tops of their head with a little white, like a little dry brush. You know what I mean? Just a little dash of white, just to make them look okay. This camera, I swear to God, I'm so thankful for it. See, look at it. It's like it wants to. It's like, I'm going to. And then it's like, no, I'm not. It's like, how could you not focus in on that? That's right, literally in front of you. There's nothing else to look at. Maybe I'll take this guy out. And I'll put this guy in the middle. What do we think? See if we can get him to focus back in. He was focused in great a second ago. What me? He was. He was looking badass. Now all of a sudden he's like, my camera is acting like a fool. Acting a fool, this camera. See, and now it's focusing on this guy. I swear, this camera. I mean, I'm going to show that guy off, obviously, but We'll move him. We'll move this back. Let's move him too. Let's move him here. If my brother happens to swing through, we'll see what he thinks about this miniature. Actually, I don't have the chat on, so I should probably turn the chat on. The Cyborg, hello, man. How are you doing? Sorry I didn't have the chat on. Showing some figures up close and personal. If I can get my stupid camera to, focus on anything other than, it's like it wants to focus on stuff a foot away. And that's not really optimal when you're trying to show off a miniature, I mean, it'd be optimal if you were like, you didn't want anyone to see what the miniature looked like. You could put it that far away, but okay. My Roomba emptying itself. It does that. So let's see. This guy hasn't been washed yet, and he hasn't been no wash, no highlight, and I need to get my really fine brush to finish his mustache. But it's basically just a guy in power armor with a screw gun, or not a screw gun. I keep wanting to call it a screw gun, a drill gun. And he's got really long hair and a mustache. And the reason is because I cut the head off of that miniature and I replaced it with a spare head I had from Vlad Tepes. Because I have a STL kit where you can print out like, 2 different bodies and like a ton of different arms and heads for the drag, the actual Vlad Tepes, not, And so I had a bunch of those heads laying around. And I thought, that'd look kind of good, actually, put long hair and a mustache on a character. I mean, now I don't know if anyone will play that character, but that's an interesting character, given that he's going to be carrying a drill shot, which those of you who know. Scary item right there. Drill shot. I don't want crack, man. I want drugs, not crack. Not like disruptors don't scare me. Because sure, they try and spam like thousands of rounds or whatever a minute to try and, throw your Holtzman shield off balance. But a drill shot just hits you and sticks and then drills through your Holtzman shield. And then, you catch that heavy dart and die. Something a lot of people don't know, something I didn't even know really. Apparently, most of the ballistic weapons used in the Dune universe fire darts. And a lot of them do it using compressed air. Because, apparently that's just what's cost effective or whatever. So now I put my non-oil wash on his armor because I'm not putting non-oil wash. What's up, Craig L? How you doing? And you see how that's his face is freaking glowing. So I'll definitely need to throw some Gilliman wash on that. So that, But yeah, he's got his metal armor on. He's come on, focus in. See? Look at that. He's got his metal armor on. He's got his long hair flowing. He's got his drill shotgun, basically, kind of, not really. And I will do some Gilliman wash on that face to tone it down a bit. And there you'll have a House Becca, which is a House Manoris in the Dune universe that my wife created. And he will be a House Becca, probably an officer. Because most of the House Becca troops that got sent to Arrakis are very low quality troops. James Lowry, damn, man. The gang is all here. We're ready to go. Did you guys just come from watching Angry Tabletop Nerd, or AKA as I call him, Holy Diver? Okay. My brother-in-law is here. They're watching Elementary, I think. Yeah, but his flesh is definitely way too, whatever. I mean, when he's completely dry, of course, he's going to get his coat of varnish. A lot of times I like to do like a hard coat. And then when the hard coat is completely dry, I'll go back over it with a dull coat to give it the maximum protection against Cheetos fingers, which, that is a thing that happens. Cheetos fingers. Here is a House Sardaukar soldier. These guys would be considered like moderate, so, not green, but also above trained, but not super great. And you can see he's wearing the full, helmet with the face mask and everything like that. But they just wear, black. They just wear black. And then here we've got a House Becca officer who could actually represent a Mentat as well. Now you'll notice that the House Becca guys are all wearing that blue-gray. That is their house color, the blue-gray. So, but underneath he's wearing his khaki uniform. Windrunner, what's up? So this would be an officer or a Mentat for House Becca. Now Ordos, they use a dark green, whereas Atreides, they wear green, but they also wear a lot of gray. Now this guy right here, and I'm going to paint a few of these up. This is very, very much in the very earliest, parts of getting painted up. This is a desert scavenger, a smuggler. He could represent so many things. And he's carrying in his right hand a K98. So the K98 is a very, very common assault rifle that you can find pretty much throughout the universe. A lot of people use them. So it's kind of like the AK-47 of 1091 after the Butlerian Jihad or whatever. How you doing, Windrunner, man? Where you been, Windrunner? I've been out there fighting radiation, getting some crystals, trying to get that door alloy. I'm 2 things away from getting an assault chopper built. And I've got 100,000 Solari, so part of me is just half tempted to just go to the vehicle dealer in like Harco City. The orange powdery stuff left on your fingers is Cheetle. Oh, so you've been out in the deep desert. Yeah, I'm working on my salt thopter. Mainly just so I can pick Hungar up and drag him around with me. And we can go explore research stations and stuff. That's mainly my deal. I mean, I am up to all Duralloy armor and everything. Mark 5 shield, Mark 5 power source. So, Shadow, how you doing, homie? So, yeah, I'll go ahead and, like, I just real quick painted his rifle. But he's going to get shaded and he's going to have different looks to him. So, I'll have to paint up about 10 or so of these guys or guys like this just to represent all of the bandits, smugglers, etc. that hang out around, you know, Arakeen or Harco and places, you know, harvesting that spice. Well, you know, that is the name of the game. Harvesting the spice. Except not for me. Yeah, I know you're really intent on that. Me, I just, you know, it's like I support your move, bro, but I'm just not, I don't care that much about it. I've been going to trying to find hidden dungeons and research centers. So that's what Shadow's been hiding out because he's been resting. Well, rest and recover, bro. But what I've been doing is finding like research stations I've never been through and like the really hard quests and just freaking running through those. So, well, you need to chill, man. So, right now I'm getting ready to paint. I'll show you what I'm painting. You can see I'm painting black. And the reason is this is a Spacers Guild Adept. And other than the things on the side of the helmet, which will be silver, he wears all black. And that makes him really easy to paint. You know what I mean? Since even the helmet faceplate is black. The helmet itself is silver, but the faceplate is black. And then I'll probably throw some gloss on that faceplate to make it look, you know, glossy and glassy. What game am I talking about? It almost sounds like Gamma World. I was talking about Gamma World, but I mean, when I put this guy in front of you and say Spacers Guild, I mean, come on, dude. Come on, Shadow. This guy is a adept member of the Spacing Guild. So I just met the leader of Carthage, and I'm nowhere near Carthage. What the fuck? I feel like your game is being it's glitched. I feel like there's a game. So Dune. I've been painting up a lot of figures for the Dune role-playing game, which I am going to end up running. And let me tell you, there's something very interesting about the Dune role-playing game that I don't think I've ever seen in any other game. And what that interesting thing is you can start the game just by handing all the players blank character sheets and letting them fill stuff in as you go. I mean, can you even imagine that? You know, you're sitting there with a blank character sheet, and then you're like, I'm going to be the house swordmaster. So I guess I'll sign my attributes such and such a ways and give myself the long blade skill. You know, because you get your attributes, you can put however you want, and then you get some points that you can use to adjust your attributes, and then you get a number of skills that you can um, add in. And of course, how skills work is, let's say you're a swordmaster and you have the skill in long blade. When you roll the die 20, you want to roll under the target number, right? But if you're using a long blade, any roll under the target number counts as 2 successes instead of 1. And that's kind of a huge thing. Well, I've got a bunch of Gamma World stuff here too. And my players are not necessarily super opposed to maybe playing Gamma World. They made characters, you know? But sometimes at the end of the day, it comes down to what you want to run more than what people want to play. So, you know, if people don't want to play what you want to run, then I guess they get to go home. But there's some interesting stories to be told. Like, my wife's character is a House Scion, so she's actually related to the noble house, Becca. And but her character has dual loyalty because she's also loyal to the Bene Gesserit. Now imagine if during the game she's on Arrakis and the Bene Gesserit give her an order to try to seduce Glossu Raban, you know, who is, you know, currently hanging out near Harco City trying to rebuild Carthage. Since there was a incredibly terrible event that happened at Carthage between a Las rifle and a Holzman shield that caused Carthage to cease to exist. You know, as happens, right? That's why all the new las guns that get shipped into Arrakis have a special safety on them. So when you click it, it sends out a beam, and if the beam detects a Holzman shield, then the rifle will not fire. Because, you know, the rifle's like, hey, idiot, you're getting ready to blow yourself up, you know? And the interaction between a las rifle and a Holzman shield is, you know, comparable to atomics. Hungar, I didn't see you. I was over watching Angry Gamer and looking for you. I've been working on an assault thopter. I just need to get some military parts for it so that I can pick you up and like drag you all over the place with me. You and me, man. Swordmaster and Bene Gesserit together, going into all the old thousands of year old research stations and just kicking ass and getting all the good shit. That's what I'm talking about. Meanwhile, our other brother can be out in the deep desert with his face full of freaking spice, if that's what he wants to do. But I didn't come to Arrakis to be a freaking spice miner. Also, it's not my skill set. I am a sword master. And that means I like to run up on people and put pointy things into screamy things. Right? That's step 1 to be a sword master, actually. I'll teach all of you this. So if you ever decide to play the Dune computer game, step 1 to being a sword master is to put the pointy end in the screamy end. if you can get that down, the rest of sword mastering will come pretty easy. You know, it's not that difficult. You know, just gotta get that pointy end into that the screamy end. Yeah. And of course, if they're wearing a shield, you gotta remember, take it slow, baby, like foreplay. Right. So now you can see he's got everything done, and I've did the side of his helmet silver. His hands, for whatever reason, are uncovered. So I'm getting ready to throw a little flesh color on those. So, yeah, but anyway, so Dune is kind of the perfect game to just throw out there since no one has to have a character made to play. You can just make the character as you go. And then it allows you as a player to kind of design your character to be good at whatever it is you want to be good at. So, you know, as you're playing the game. So it's kind of an interesting take on things. But otherwise, if you've ever played or looked at Conan 2.20 or any 2.20 game, it's that. Except, and this was the part that really upset me, there's no skills, right? Except there are skills. There's a whole list of skills, and every character gets to start out with like 3 or 4 of them. And instead of having a list of skills on the character sheet, you just write the skill down next to the attribute, right? And then instead of adding to the target number you need to roll under, it just makes it where when you roll under your target number, you get double successes. So, yeah, it's pretty wide open too, because they give you a list of skills, but it's like pretty much anything you want to write down that makes sense can count. So, you know, if you want your character to be really good at poetry and playing the balisette, you'd put that down, I would say, under communication. And yeah, your character would be really good at poetry and playing the balisette. Now, you see how he's got that V cut in the front? In the TV or the movie, he was wearing all black. But I am going to paint that V cut undershirt white because I think it'll be a really stark kind of contrast and it'll look a little better. That's all. No real other reason than I just think it'll look a little better. So grab my Pro Acryl titanium white over here. Yeah, these Harkonnen or these Atreides will be pretty easy, I think, to paint because they're just going to get like military green, and then all the armor plates will get like slate gray, and that's basically it. You know, they won't be very difficult, I don't think. Let me find my actual good small brush since I'm, you know, doing some detail work. There it is right here. You guys can see the handle. See, this is my little brush. I use this thing about once a month. Okay, set this down so I'm not shaking like a leaf on a tree. And slow and steady. Stop shaking. Just get it up there. That looks pretty okay. I'm not unhappy with that. So now it looks like our Mr. Spacing Guild adept is kind of wearing a tuxedo, right? He's got a busy night out, right? I mean, a player that could represent a player. Players can be affiliated by dual loyalty to the Spacers Guild too. So now I grab my Gilliman Flesh Shade. I've got contrast and shade because I am super special in like a special way. And hit those hands. Just hit those hands up a little bit. Boom. One thing I'll tell you, when I started painting these Dune miniatures, like the first thing I did is go and look on like the movies and the sets and the like the art, you know, that people have made. And it was like everything was pretty much just painted black. You know what I mean? It's like the Spacers Guild, they're black or white, depending on their rank. You know, Harkonnens are all black. Sardaukar used to be black, but now they're all wearing white armor, which is fine, whatever. And then yeah, you know, so and then we picked this color right here for House Becca. This is let me read it. Space Gray. But at some point I need to paint this guy and send a picture of him to my mom because she loves this character. Hey, what's up, Bear? I'm just showing off some miniatures real quick. But this is Castiel. And my mom absolutely loved Supernatural. And I think her favorite character, if I remember correctly, was Castiel. So I need to get this bad boy painted up so I can send a picture of it to her so that she can like be all like, oh my God, that's Castiel. And I can be like, yeah, that's Castiel. What do you know? All right. You know? So I heard my wife in there talking about Mexican food tonight. I am never, ever opposed to Mexican food. So right now I am painting Castiel's jacket, and I have decided to go with snakebite leather, which is just such a good brown. And if I remember correctly, Castiel's long coat was like a brown color. And if I'm wrong, well, you know, it doesn't matter. So, okay. So, boom. Pretty easy, right? That's pretty easy. What's up, Deckard? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I saw you post that stuff, and you know what? The fat electrician's wrong too. You and the fat electrician are both wrong. The Bradley is not a tank. What's up, Doc? Getting ready to end this and not very long, guys. By the way, I didn't intend to stream a long time. Today is going to be, I think, an exciting day. Yeah, I think that's a good color for it, you know. And now I'm going to paint his flesh with a little bit of Gilliman flesh color. So, of course, even when I do it with the Gilliman flesh wash contrast, I always have to go back and highlight it because, you know, contrast flesh wash is a lie. I mean, it's handy because you can at least get like something there, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's a lie. So now I'm going to have to figure out what color his shirt and pants are. Yankees. So loud, you know. Boom, you know. Boom. But yeah, so I have to figure out what color his pants are. I seem to remember they're probably brown too, but I want to do them a different color brown than the jacket, obviously. Like maybe a ruddy brown. Yeah. Let me finish this little. I got a YouTube video here. I'll be ready just a few. I caught him. So we'll paint his blade silver. But I may have to go back and bust out my game color, Vallejo silver, because that silver is like freaking shiny silver. So, oh my God, do you hear that going on? So, I certainly could have done it otherwise. I just threw like 5,000 aluminum ore in one of my things. So white shirt, blue tie, black pants. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Hunger. Easy peasy then, right? She had to reschedule. I checked her in that fucking morning. I checked Beverly into the appointment that morning. So did she reschedule and we're going to have to pay anyway? Because it wasn't canceled in time? Does it count as a cancellation? I think it does, because she didn't do it more than 24 hours before. Because I spent an hour checking Beverly in and filling out all her paperwork at this place. It's the first time she's been there. I was doing that. So there's our black pants. We've got white still out on my palette. What color were the wings? Did he have white wings?
Absolutely.
But the big reason you needed
Don't you hate when you got paintbrush and there's like one hair
Right.
that has somehow become longer and more like whatever than every other hair on the brush? Then you gotta end up cutting that hair off. But
Because you failed.
so
My job is to get them to the fucking point. And I counted on you. And now I failed.
and of course I know he's got dark hair, so I'll give him some dark hair.
And what was the conflict? I asked her,
You know.
what was the conflict?
And I'll detail the face up.
Did she have a date with her boyfriend, her new boyfriend? Is that it?
And I'll put a blue tie on him. And so the hair and the blue tie are all that's really holding me up, really.
A secret.
Let me go back over this. Make sure I got that shirt nice, and now I can see the tie better too. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, so now it's not, the appointment's not for another month.
Okay.
So, Beverly has to not have a fall down.
Freaking
Another month now.
Shadow leaves the chat and like everything goes crazy. What's up with that?
Phoenician Empire. I'm going after them next.
But okay, so is there? No, I need to get my wet palette thing going again. Well, I think that is maybe a maybe we've got a message from the powers above that it's time to end this stream, since people are standing in the living room yelling at each other. They're literally